Recently, a friend of mine purchased the Royal Enfield Hunter 350 and I got a weekend to spend with the Hunter where I got to explore the good and the not so good side of the motorcycle. When the Hunter was launched, I remember discussions in the riding community on what happened to Royal Enfield and do we really need another 350cc from Enfield. Well, after riding and spending time with the Hunter, I will reply that with a big yes. As we motorcyclists are always looking for a light, easy and agile motorcycle to ride, which was kind of missing from the RE portfolio, and that is where the Hunter tries to fit in. At around 180 kilos, it isn't exactly light, but in comparison to its other 350cc siblings, the Hunter noticeably feels lighter. You will love what Royal Enfield has done to this chassis and its results in terms of handling. It is still a front-heavy motorcycle, but it handles so good for a Royal Enfield. The 17-inch rims does make things sweeter, plus you get an option of factory-fitted alloy rims in the Metro variant. I did get a bit overexcited in the corners, and soon I realized that the foot pegs and the stock tires from Seat didn't like me as a rider. That reminds me of braking, and I like the brakes on the Hunter. They offer decent stopping power, but you get to play with a limited travel on the lever, which is something I feel you will get used to with. And yes, you do get dual channel ABS in the Metro variants, so no cost cutting over here. Speaking of cost cutting, I did fear RE might cut on metal panels, metal tank or even the center stand, but thankfully we still get most of the motorcycle in metal, and in true RE fashion, you can park it in center stand. On the other hand, I found the side stand making the motorcycle stand too upright with the fear of tipping over. I do have some other important points to cover, but let's get done with the engine and transmission first. The new J series powerhouse is a gem of an engine which actually broke the vibrating image of the Enfield. The engine and gearbox combo has got a mile-munching character with a linear power and dense torque delivery. We get a 5-speed gearbox and you can shift to the 5th gear right from 40 km per hour, and from there on you can keep the cruising speeds in the sweet 60 to 80 km per hour zone, where you will still have enough juice left at 80 km per hour that will assist you with overtakes. And after doing all of this, you can still expect the Hunter to return a fuel efficiency of around 34 km per liter like we did in our test. There is a different charm of riding these long stroke engines, and I find no point in comparing them to high revving over square engines. That also makes me wish to have an RPM readout on the speedometer console, which otherwise is neatly done with an offset position. You do have an option to add the tripper console on the right, as it does not come standard. I also found the console unit has got a play which makes it vibrate on bad roads and on rumble strips. Bad roads brings us to the suspension setup, which unlike most Royal Enfields is on the stiffer side. I won't call it uncomfortable, but don't expect to be as plush and cushy as the Classic or the Meteor. But what I really liked here is the rider's seat, which is well contoured with adequate cushioning. I must say, after a long time, I got to experience a good rider's seat right from the factory. 100 kilometers were easily done on this seat with no sign of fatigue. Honestly, I am impressed by the way the Hunter performed, and if I have to deep dive, then I would have loved a bit more performance to assist the acceleration. A slipper clutch would have made things more fun on the Hunter, and the assist feature would have made the clutch lighter for traffic duties. The opening and closing of throttle transition is a bit jerky, which can be felt when you start to roll the motorcycle from standstill. On the other hand, the heat management is really good for an engine of this size with no aid from liquid cooling. The halogen setup may look old school, but it has got a decent performance. The replaceable bulb also means you get to experiment with brighter setup from the same or lower power consuming bulbs. The future for Hunter looks bright for me, and it is not just hunting its rivals, but it's poaching shares from its own siblings Classic and Meteor. Ask an Enfield dealership and you will know that quite a few Classic and Meteor bookings have been shifted to the Hunter. Let me know in the comments if you want future videos on the Hunter. So that's it for this video, and I hope you guys have liked it.